evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Imani Payne.
And I'm Kaylee Emery. Thanks for joining us.
Leading our newscast tonight, a Sedona man is currently in custody for allegedly stealing a pickup truck and leading northern Arizona authorities on a high-speed chase. 46-year-old James Capobianco Jr. is being held on suspicion of automobile theft, reckless driving, and unlawful flight from a law enforcement officer. According to his sister, she sold the truck to the victim 4 months ago, and he may have somehow retained a spare set of keys. He is also facing charges of aggravated DUI on a suspended license and possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. This case is pending.
Police and social workers are seeing more reports of sexual assault than ever before. There are two reasons we're told some teens and young adults are more introverted and more violent than in the past years. And more victims are reporting assaults to help the abuser behind bars. Nancy Harrison sat down with Mariah Farrell Womachil, the executive director of Victim Witness, to discuss what we all need to do to stop this abuse.
Thank you. And joining us is Myra. I'd like to talk about the issue of mandatory reporting. Who is a mandatory reporting and what's it mean?
Well, mandatory reporting means that if a child has been a victim of a crime, in any sort of crime, then the mandatory reporter has to report it. Examples of mandatory reporters include law enforcement, teachers, school administrators, principals, social service workers, religious folks. Some states, not in Arizona unfortunately, but some states also would include like photo development people, you know, so because they see all those different types of images. So mandated reporters in Arizona are basically anybody who works with children.
So teachers, obviously, if the teachers are hearing about
counselors.
an activity, counselors, principals.
Yes.
If you hear of an activity, if someone was sexually assaulted or kidnapped or any of those, you're supposed to report it, right?
Yes,
But
absolutely, clearly.
But do you think that most educators know that they're required to do this?
I think that it gets really confusing sometimes as to what makes a report, and it's a scary thing to do to call CPS or law enforcement because it will have consequences making those calls. I do get a lot of asks from different teachers and administrators. You know, they give me a scenario, should I report this? And I just try to make it clear, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated. If a child was a victim of a crime, you have to report it. Even if that crime happened 5 years ago, even if that child told you, you don't have to make a report, I'm just telling you, right? Because you still do. It's pretty black and white.
So is it illegal not to?
Yes, it is illegal. In fact, that reminds me of the incident in Steubenville, Ohio. Several of the teachers did not make a report, and they were actually charged.
So it's really important for school administrators and others. But, you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, it didn't happen during the school year, or it didn't happen at church. Why do I have to get involved? But just as a decent human, it seems like you...
Even if it didn't happen at school.
Right.
Like, for example, I'm a social worker, and I'm a mandated reporter 24 hours a day. That's what I am, 24 hours a day. And so if it didn't happen in sight, or it didn't happen where it was associated with my agency, I still have to make a report. A teacher or a principal or a counselor, they're just mandated reporters. When they took on that career, they took on that title. And so even if it didn't happen, you know, say in the school, or it happened over summer vacation or any of those things, they still have to make a report.
And just as being a decent human being, it seems like you would step forward and help out a child, just as if it were your daughter, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Myra.
Thank you.
It's really great to see you. Thanks.
Well, a great set of maps reveal that Northern Arizona University is number 15 on the list of colleges with the most on-campus drug and alcohol arrests.
Now, the information comes from the Department of Education, which tracks campuses' crime reports.
That's right. Now, the strange thing is the map and list of most on-campus drug arrests seem to cluster around the Midwest and Northeast areas. I guess we'll see if this pattern continues over the coming years.
And it's time to start picking up tax forms and talking to your accountant. Find out what will make this weekend a special one in terms of filing your taxes. We'll be right back.
Markson. As seasons change, so does the inventory at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. To make room for the 2014 models, we're clearing the lot, and that means great deals for you on our 2013s. Right now, you'll find rebates up to $10,000 on select Chevrolet models. Choose from a full line of vehicles, including the totally redesigned 2014 Silverado 1500. You can always count on our same relaxed, no-pressure environment. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Three American Indian tribes in the West will soon be able to prosecute non-Indians for certain crimes. Due to a 1978 U.S. Supreme Court ruling, tribes lack criminal jurisdiction over non-Indians on their reservations. Now, the 2013 reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act allows tribes to bring cases against non-Indians for domestic violence crimes and violations of protection orders. U.S. justice officials announced Thursday that tribes in Arizona, Washington, and Oregon have met requirements to implement provisions of the law starting February 20th.
And now we have NAZ's Kimberly Kraft with today's tax tip.
So I'm here with Special Agent Brian Watson, and he is a federal agent, and we're talking about...
Welcome back, Mr. Taxman Tom.
Okay, thanks for having me again.
We are talking once again about the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is significant in the fact that a lot of it is unclaimed. Talk about that.
The IRS has been tracking the Earned Income Tax Credit for many years to see how effectively they were communicating the need to get it. And what they found is that in Arizona, about 75% of the people eligible actually get the credit. And that in Coconino County, that amounts to about $9 million, and statewide, it's over $400 million.
That's really significant. You gave me another number with that $2 million compared to the $9 million.
Oh,
explain that.
Oh, the Coconino County Community Services budget, I don't have the current numbers, but generally is around $2 million prior to the recession, and $9 million is, we can do the simple math on that, that's almost 4 times as much, putting it into the hands of families that some of whom are served by the community services from the county. So that just gives you the context of how large a number, 9 million, within Coconino County is.
We've seen the commercials recently with the stacks of money, and the fact that this is a national problem, that people aren't claiming it. Why is that? Why is it so complicated?
Well, the Earned Income Tax Credit is a generous credit, but there are lots of limitations on what you can take. And there's 2 different kinds of incomes that you have to look at in order to calculate it. You generally, in order to get the large credits, have to have what are called qualifying children. What the heck is a qualifying child? There's a lot of rules around it. So it's complicated, and so it takes some training to get it and be able to understand it. And the best way to do that, honestly, is to go to a paid preparer, potentially, or go to a free preparer like my organization, Northland Free Tax Assistance.
And we do have lots of information about your organization, but let's return to that, the paid preparer. What do you look for when you're finding somebody to help you with filing your return?
Well, the paid preparers, there's several of them. There are several commercial organizations, and they go through a lot of training as well. And so they're certainly one possibility. For the adventuresome, they can do it on their own and buy commercial tax products. TurboTax is probably the most commonly used. You still have to try to understand what the requirements are. The software can help you. A paid preparer certainly can help you. A free preparer can get it done for you as well.
Okay, well, we have all that information and more at our website, naztoday.com. Thanks, Tom.
Okay, thanks for having me.
So we finally got some snow here in Flagstaff, but can we expect it to last? Well, meteorologist Lee Bourne has our forecast coming up.
I just got a house full of Suddenlink with an all-new home phone service that can actually do tricks, like send voicemail to email.
It's your mother. Call me.
Automatically and pop caller ID onto my TV, giving new meaning to call screening. Right. Plus, I got E911 to pinpoint our house and unlimited long distance to flatten our bill. Suddenly, the phone company seems cheesy because Suddenlink just reinvented home phone and made it look easy.
All right, pretty decent snowstorm last night, and since this is pre-recorded, I think it ended early this morning, and I don't have any snow totals for you, but the storm system got out of here in pretty much a hurry through the day today. We have high pressure building in, and we're going to warm things up right through the weekend. High pressure once again will build in off the Pacific. There is a very active storm track, though, notice, into northern and central California and then into the Intermountain West. And this is really good news for the entire region because they've been just as dry as we are, and the Sierras are finally going to get pummeled up here towards Tahoe with several feet of snow in the forecast through the weekend. But the storm tracks well to the north of us, and this Pacific Ridge is going to slowly build in, and we're in for a warming trend and another long extended period, it appears, of very mild weather around here. So for us overnight tonight, I think we remain partly cloudy, forecasting 19 degrees due to the cloud cover for an early morning low on Saturday. And then on Saturday, I think we have occasional thick high clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy once again, much warmer than we were today by about 10 degrees. And we'll continue to warm things up here as we make our way through the weekend. Sunrise for our Saturday is at 7:20. Here's a look at the statewide temperatures overnight tonight going into Saturday morning and then through the day on Saturday. 34.59 in Sedona, 29.56 Prescott, into the 70s down in Phoenix for the weekend. Payson 55, Winslow 58, Tuba City 53 for your Saturday. And as I mentioned, even warmer temperatures are in store for us. Keep on warming up. We get into the low 50s, and it's occasional high clouds each and every day. Sometimes partly to mostly cloudy, sometimes sunny out there. On Monday, there is a very weak storm system that moves through. Notice we don't cool things down much, but I think it will be on the breezy to windy side on Monday. And then we get into midweek, and temperatures will start to climb even into the mid-50s. And taking a look at your Sedona extended forecast, temperatures right back up into the mid-60s here, where it looks like they're going to remain beyond what we're just showing here for the 5 days. Kind of how we had that big, long, dry spell. Hopefully this one's nothing like that, 40 straight days. But we're right back at it with no storms really in sight.
And that's kind of nice to see that there's going to be some sunshine rather than the snow that we've got today and yesterday.
Nice for you, not so nice for me. I mean,
snow.
there are a lot of us around here. We love to, get outside and cross-country ski. We like to snowboard, downhill ski, and we need the moisture, of course, as well. But I know you guys like the sunshine, so we'll deliver.
California
All right,
girls.
well, thanks, Lee. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.